You know, I should just record those sounds and bake them into
Yes, you
the
should.
properly.
You should.
Well, thank you for the sound effects. Appreciate it. Greetings. I'm live for the Arketer Wade with, in this call, Havenhand, Ola Seraph,
Hello.
and a silent Froman, who is kind enough to host the call, as is often the case, if not always. Greetings in chat to Carlos Fish, Nexus Hunter, K. Shull, Bidgevetten, Lord Gex, Devil Pop, Carlos Fish. I think I already got them. In any case, I think.
And your mom.
If they are in the audience, they're lurking, and this is probably for the best. In any case, well, Haven, how are you all today? I'd ask how Froman's doing, but I assume I know the answer. It's busy.
Well, I had the best sleep that I've had in a long time. Woke up at like 1 p.m. So my day's been good.
Very good, very good. Ola, are you all right? I'm tempted to use... yesterday mistakes were made. Some of that language I was using kind of weighted itself in my mind, and it's driving me a bit mad. But I can get over it. I will overcome. It was... it had to be done, and I stand by it. Greetings in chat to Bishop and Nerdy Rodent. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, let's move on. If you've been paying attention to the news, you may be aware that China launched a whole bunch of spy balloons that just went all over the place, including the US, where after a week or so, the administration took swift action to blow it out of the air as opposed to capture it and learn anything about it. And it was a balloon. I mean, they could have taken a BB gun to slowly deflate it and then... Well, in any case, as with such situations that touch upon the topic of World War III and potential oblivion for humanity, I tend to get a bit stressed out. And I know just how to handle that by going for BBC News Pigeon so I can read about the article in a way I cannot possibly take seriously, thus turning a weighty, serious subject into a complete absurdity that is much more digestible. And why don't we do that together now before getting into the other articles? From BBC News Pigeon, wet and be this alleged Chinese spy balloon way fly over America? The mysterious object make flights shut down for Montana on Wednesday. Greetings, Old Man Enfield. China don't say the alleged spy balloon way U.S. spot for the airspace. Now one Chinese civilian airship way don't deviate from in-planned route. While U.S. defense officials say them believe the balloon way them see above sensitive areas in recent days, not in fact one high-altitude surveillance device. But for one statement, China Foreign Ministry say them they use them for mainly meteorological purposes. It's just a weather balloon. I assume they decided to go with that one because people believe that when their own government tells them it. In any case. China say dem regret the unintended entry of the balloon into U.S. airspace. And probably several other balloons that were also seen. The object fly over Alaska Aleutian Islands through Canada before it appear over the city of Billings for Montana on Wednesday, according to officials. Montana now home to some of the U.S. nuclear missile silos. The U.S. later decide not to shoot down the balloon, sake of the danger way go follow the falling materials and the limited use of any intelligence way the device fit gotta, one U.S. defense official talk. However, the government prepare fighter jets in case them go need shoot down the object. The Chinese statement say not one unexpected wind blow the balloon, of course. Affected by the rest delays with limited self-steering capability, the airship deviate far from in-planned course. the Chinese side regret the unintended entry of the airship into U.S. airspace sake of force majeure. The statement referred to the incident as unexpected situation and say Beijing go continue to communicate with the U.S. side. On Friday, Canada say Edon summoned China ambassador sake of the incident and go can continue to vigorously express imposition to Chinese officials. U.S. media reports say the balloon by reach die size of 3 buses. During Thursday briefing for the Pentagon, U.S. defense officials refused to disclose the current location of the aircraft and did no give information on where dem launch am from. Dem ad say the balloon be like ego appear to hang out for a longer period of time than others way the U.S. don track over the past several years. The unfamiliar sight been caused confusion as the balloon hang above Montana, with some people they post photos of the pale round object way they high above the Earth's surface. Billings office worker Chase Doak told the Associated Press news agency say him noticed the big white circle for the sky and go house to get beta camera. I think say maybe not legitimate UFO, he talk. So I been one make sure I document am and take as many photos as I fit. Apparently they didn't translate this part. Heating to balloons, solar panels provide power. Instruments can include cameras, radar sensors, and communications equipment. How high can it fly? Well, apparently over 80,000 feet. China been first Sama warning against Tory and hyping up the issue as them work to verify the reports of the balloon. With state media outlet The Global Times, they accuse the US say them they aggravate tensions between the two countries. Despite China explanation, the incident they likely to increase tensions ahead of US Secretary of State Antony Blinken visit to China next week. Ego be the first visit to the country by any Biden administration cabinet secretary. The top US government they go for Beijing to hold talks on a wide range of issues including security, Taiwan, and COVID-19. See, now I'm not worried about this at all. It's just too absurd to take very seriously.
Yes.
I hear that the balloons have, well, this one at least, has since been shot down. So it only took them a bit over a week to come to a conclusion as to what they should do, and that's what they did. Thoughts?
Well, they said that Montana held some of the nuclear missiles that the US has. I thought there were so many nuclear missiles that there were some in every state.
There probably are. Presumably that would be one of the things they would want to keep going.
Yes.
Greetings, K70. Well,
there's a bot in the chat.
This one's allowed, mostly because they don't try to post links to Russian porn sites that contain viruses.
Okay.
But I've taken out many a proud soul, such as, well, we know who's susceptible. We don't need to go into it. It's fine.
I'm keeping an eye on you, K70.
Well, we'll move on. Let's see. Let's talk about really crap luck. The story of a man arrested many times because his name is the same as a drug kingpin. This from the localread.com. Bogota, a Colombian man has been the victim of repeated wrongful arrests by law enforcement because he has the same name as a fugitive Peruvian drug lord. This 46-year-old man almost even got deported. As reported by the Sun Tuesday, Rene Martinez Gutierrez is a man who loves his family and lives quietly and has never had a criminal record in his entire life. But Gutierrez has been arrested 3 times in the last 13 years because he shares the same name with a Peruvian drug lord who is wanted by law enforcement, both in his home country and abroad. Gutierrez was first arrested by police in 2010 when he went to a police station in Bogota to request judicial documents so he could start a business. When police checked his profile, they found that Gutierrez had international arrest warrant in Peru. After being detained for 8 days, Gutierrez went to the Peruvian embassy in Bogota to find out why he was arrested. Peruvian officials said they did not know why the arrest took place, but they assumed it was because Gutierrez had the same name as a wanted criminal. In 2011, Gutierrez was again arrested by the Colombian police, and he spent 2 months in a notorious La Bogota prison. The second arrest occurred when Gutierrez contacted Bogota police stations to report a robbery at his workplace, but when police checked Gutierrez's name, they again mistook him for a Peruvian drug lord. His name and date of birth is the same as someone once for a long time being an accomplice to a man who smuggled 20 kilograms of cocaine hidden in a television set in Peru in 2006. Gutierrez's wife, Yesenia Contreras, told local media El Tiempo.
Are they stupid?
Yes.
Okay.
Very stupid.
I'm just thinking, like, pictures exist.
I would think so. They only have a name of this drug dealer. Is that it? That's the entire file? They're going after a fugitive. They don't know what he looks like, but they just assume that at one point he'll go into a police station, report a robbery, and then they'll have nabbed him.
Oh wait, I mean, they have this innocent man's pictures on profile. Like, they can see, oh, this is the man we've arrested and detained this many times, even in prison. If we see him and check his profile, then he is not the one we're looking for.
Amazing. You hear of all these Colombian drug lords. It's almost as if the local law enforcement is incompetent and or corrupt. That seems like a reasonable hypothesis here. But in any case, that poor bastard.
I mean,
it's gotta be quite stressful. Anytime you have contact with a police officer, you know that they could just recognize your name and arrest you, thinking they've busted in crime lord. That's got to really suck. They should probably move out.
I mean, he would probably be detained at the airport as well.
Old Man suggests they should become a cartel leader of spite, and, you know, surely there could be some plus sides to this. Can you just find some local lives, declare his name, and then extort them? For fear of running afoul of the real guy? Seems like he's owed some...
that's how it works.
Perks. Probably not. But it seems kind of unfair he reaps all the negatives and none of the positives. There have to be some. Although attempting to collect them would probably get him shot instead. So maybe it's best if he just moves out. Away.
Like, change his middle name and then, or add a middle name. That's probably easier.
Yes. Change any one of the names and he will probably save himself a lot of grief. Well, greetings, Octane Junkie. Glad you could join the show. Well, at least I'm pretty sure there's no crime lord out there named Dr. Zachary Arketer. The odds are real low.
Well, I know I'm
the only one is you.
As far as I'm aware. Sorry, Fremen, what was that?
Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. Nothing incriminating in the slightest.
This is the verbal equivalent of message removed, and
You mean redacted?
Not quite. Greetings, Exodus. And good luck with that. Right. From the mirror. 100-year-old woman says secret to long and happy life is avoiding strange men.
Well, you're all gonna die.
Certainly we're all playing with fire here. Especially you lot. I mean, we're just... If there's a scale of strange men, I'm pretty sure I'm high up on that particular scale. Therefore, you're all in great peril. Through no direct fault of my own, apparently. I'm aging you all by the minute. I assume it's some sort of radiation. Olive Westerman, 100 years old, from South Kirby, West Yorkshire, says the secret to living 10 decades on Earth is not speaking to strange men and always having a young heart. An old woman has revealed the secret to a very long and happy life. It's avoiding strange men at all costs. All of Westermen from South Kirby, West Yorkshire, celebrated her landmark birthday last week and reflected on the last 10 decades that were spent laughing and traveling, presumably running away from men.
Random strangers.
She looks like a beanbag. You haven't scrolled down yet.
The retired nursery nurse says, working with young children keeps her heart young, but steering clear of odd strangers is what really helped her reach 100. All of that, avoid talking to strange men and you'll be just fine. I think the best advice I could give is simply to be happy and content to be alive and to make the most of what you have. And look, it's unfair because she's very old and whatnot, but yes, she does look a bit like an anthropomorphic beanbag chair.
I'm sure there is someone into that.
It's the internet, and I'm sure someone's into that as well. And specifically, anthropomorphic beanbag chair grandma.
I mean, there are a lot of people that are into gills.
No, Sparky's 100. That is not my mom. Sparky, greetings. You're welcome to join, by the way. I didn't know you had like the red thing up and didn't have this. If you are available, you're welcome to join in. I can suddenly get in bed once you've confirmed it or not. I just thought you might be busy this time. In any case, quote unquote, I actually can't believe I'm now 100, but it feels amazing, Olive said. I was absolutely thrilled to receive a card from King Charles and Camilla. Would anyone else here be pleased to receive a card from King Charles and
No.
Camilla?
No.
I'm looking forward to dying, having received no such notification. But, you know, famous person, easily excitable. Strictly speaking, does King Charles count as a strange man? If he
Yes.
walked into the house, would she have to flee it?
Yes. And also, imagine living like 99% of your life thinking that you're gonna get a letter from Queen Elizabeth II, and then having all your hopes dashed just a few months before your birthday.
Yeah, that's gotta suck. I mean, the card from the Queen is surely awesome. Charles, though? I mean, the only reason the Queen was around that long is because she was trying to outlive him. Was
But
my
the,
guess.
the Kingdom of Ugg must be really cheap, because in my country we get a letter from our Queen when we turn 100.
Well, it is an achievement. I mean, it's... How many people, probably very few of us, will hit century old? And she must be doing something right, because, well, apparently still ambulatory at a century old, which is beating the curve another way.
But I'm just saying, like, the difference between getting a card and a letter. A handwritten letter, by the way. That's just sad.
And possibly greetings, Snoopy SM100. Glad you could make the show.
Yeah.
Greetings in call now to Sparky. How are you, Sparky?
Hello.
Fancy. Also, your audio is just really SOL at present.
Yes.
But the
You're
avatar
speaking in
is looking...
static.
Avatar's on point. You are apparently
Oh, this
speaking
actually
machine
kinda
code,
hurts.
and I'm sorry, I can't parse that. Not live on stream.
Yes, please mute.
The cute sympathies on the technical difficulties, though. I do. Excellent avatar.
Yeah.
Let's see, where were we? Yeah, let's move on. Congratulations on not dying yet. Olive. Here's a clear trap. This is a trap. We can rest assured right now this is surely a trap. From TommySotomayor.com, again curated by Fremen. The New Globe Baptist Church, a place to worship big-breasted women. But is it real? Videos, which we probably shouldn't play. But... I mean,
Is that better?
Yes.
Much better.
Fixed it.
Good. Yes, I fixed it. Sorry about that, guys. Maybe it's the AI I made. Maybe it's trying to take over the computer.
It's not done by OpenAI, is it? Because ChatGPT is clearly going to go batshit insane if it ever achieves sentience.
No. Here, let me give you a sample of what I made.
Welcome to Sparky's Tech Corner. Please enjoy this stream and try not to laugh uncontrollably from all the shit you're going to be witness to from Sparky, Rogue, Gem, and our own deviant fucking dragon furry Draconath. We also can't forget Pen. Just remember hashtag blame Pen because she can never show up or finish any commitment she volunteers for. Anyone is welcome on to talk. Now leave a like and enjoy the show.
Yes, that was medical.
This isn't going to drag me into any sort of drama, is it?
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
It's just no. I made a clone of Medica's voice. And it's
Well,
actually pretty damn good.
That's pretty neat, although I don't have the brain power to parse the ethics or complications of it. In any case, moving on to Breast Church. The capital of the U.S. state of Georgia, Atlanta, is known for its vibrant culture and diverse population. However, one church in the city has recently caught the attention of many with its controversial approach to attracting members. The New Globe Baptist Church, known for its no dress code policy, has been advertising seductively dressed women on its social media page in an attempt to attract more people to its services. This new strategy has raised many questions about the ethics and morality of using such methods to win over new members. It also highlights the changing nature of church evangelism in the modern world and the challenges that come with it. I can see why it's working.
I can't.
I suppose it's really a matter of personal. New Globe Baptist Church marketing strategy. The New Globe Baptist Church has taken a bold step in advertising its services in a way that is unique and controversial. The church's Instagram page is filled with images of women dressed in revealing outfits and captions that invite newcomers to, quote-unquote, come as you are. Well, for once I get to say it. Phrasing. The biosection page also makes it clear that there is no dress code at the church. This approach seems to be a new way of propagating the gospel of Christ to unbelievers, as the conventional style of church evangelism seems to not work as well. Yeah, I'm familiar with this approach because I believe it's been rather popular with some of history's most terrifying cults. So I personally would suggest, if you're inclined to go to New Globe Baptist Church, you probably shouldn't. The massive breasted women there, they don't really love you. They just want you to sign away your power of attorney. I'm willing to place money on it. If I knew where to and how. I don't think I was willing to take the bet. But, yeah, that said, the sheer aesthetics of it are hard to argue with.
There was only one of them that looked even slightly natural, though. But does that matter to people?
It surely does to some people in sort of ways, and well, I'm just not inclined to condemn on this point. Judging them.
I mean, as long as they're happy, I guess.
What stands out to me is the bottom left, right one there, is a better Starfire than Starfire. Just a bit of a throwback. I do suspect that if they have any manner of confessional, it's probably pay-per-view. Well, before I move on, any comments on this one? Any of you want to say about this incredibly questionable outreach?
Jocks for Jesus.
There
It
absolutely
is
needs
just
to be
abuse.
more religions like this. More
Well, I can't
tits.
have-
More
I can't
tits
have-
everywhere.
I came in halfway in for this, so I'll just keep quiet on it.
You don't have anything to say about breast church?
I mean, all hail the mommy milkers, I guess.
I bet they're doing well. No, whether or not they should. We'll just move on. Rhode Island Department of Health releases Santa DNA results. This from AB6 News, Rhode Island, and could be viral media for Family Guy, but I doubt it.
I got so many questions.
This is a photo of cooking carrots and letter sent to the Cumberland Police Department January 20th, 2023. Providence, Rhode Island. 3 days after a Cumberland girl requested that a Christmas cookie and carrots be tested for Santa's DNA, the results are in. Quote unquote. Unfortunately, there were no complete matches. Anyone in the combined DNA index system, or CODIS, that is used to help identify matches with other results across the country to help solve cold cases, wrote the Department of Health. While there was no match, the Department of Health said there was a partial match to a 1947 case centered around 34th Street in New York City.
Say what?
Ultimately, we would need additional DNA samples from other known Santa encounters to make a more definitive match, added the Department of Health. The good news, said health officials, is they didn't find evidence of any common foodborne illnesses in the cookies. So whoever ate them is safe, said the Department of Health. As for the carrots, the Department of Health said they found DNA matching closely with the Rantivetrandus, most commonly known as reindeer. How? I guess that's the carrots. Our laboratory was able to apply the most current and technologically advanced methods to solving this case. We aren't able to definitively confirm or refute the presence of Santa at your home, the Department of Health wrote to 10-year-old Scarlett Duamato. So, did Scarlett just like set a trap here? I guess he brought the wrong toy? She wanted this bastard busted? Is that it?
Yes.
Well, as noted in chat, the good news is that it wasn't a paternity-related test.
No, he was talking about the partial match from 1947.
Miracle on 34th Street, it's movie.
Ah.
I'm not
How
quite
would
sure
I
why
know?
this one's in the lineup, but well, can't imagine a universe without cows. All problems on Earth will be solved if cow slaughter is prevented. Gujarat Court. This comes from barnbench.com. While sentencing a man to life in prison for illegally transporting cattle, Judge Samir, yes, said that unless cow slaughter is completely prohibited, the Sadvik climate change cannot have its effect.
So I got so many questions with this one because you got some of these people going, oh, well, cow farts causes greenhouse gases. Well, slaughter the cows. How's slaughtering the cattle? Oh, my God.
I think they're forgetting that people wouldn't keep and breed cows if they weren't being used for their meat and skin products and stuff like that.
Yep, people go those poor cows, but strictly speaking, those poor cows have been bred for much of human existence into their role as passive meat and milk providers. You throw them out in the wild, they're probably not going to do all that great. And I suppose the genetic engineering could try to remedy that. So let's be some fun money out trying that. But really, really bad idea. Really bad idea. I think by now, we can agree that genetic engineering isn't there yet. And we should probably not be trying that on humans or animals.
Yeah.
Not that that's going to stop some people, but sure, it should. A court in Tapi, Gujarat recently sentenced a youth to life imprisonment for illegally transporting cattle from Maharashtra, while noting that all of this problems will be solved if cow slaughter is prevented. This does not sound like good legaling or science or even particularly sane.
That's my question. My number one question this whole deal is how?
Life imprisonment for illegally transporting cattle.
I mean, I can see it if it's in a primarily Hindu country.
It's very similar, but just like, hey, what are you in for? Smuggling.
I can understand like smuggling laws. I can understand, illegal transport. I understand all that one. What I don't understand is what in the heck does it have anything to do with climate?
Well, apparently I'm not allowed to read the full story, but I'm pretty certain it's going to be batshit insane and based on sheer mystic faith.
Or it's probably just going to be because we said. Like everything else you hear from climate activists.
Much the same. Judge Samir Vyas is, I'm inclined to say, a bit of a basket case, and that poor youth. I really want a hamburger.
Yeah.
Or a steak.
Yeah.
My wife's actually going to get hamburgers from Brahms right now.
Nice. Former Utah deputy arrested for impersonating officer for a second time. I'm guessing this is one of those people who, in high school, was the tall monitor and got really excited with the trivial amounts of authority. Which probably has a lot to do with why they're a former Utah deputy. But they've been arrested for impersonating officer for the second time. A former Washington County Sheriff's deputy in Utah has been arrested and charged with impersonating officer for the second time. Jason Ryan Little. That is exactly the sort of name I would assign to a character like this. Especially the last name. Ma'am, I'm Officer Little. Did you use the right turn signal? Was taken into custody Monday and charged with impersonating an officer, a Class B misdemeanor, and possession of a weapon by a restricted person, a third-degree felony. According to a police booking affidavit, the incident began on January 18th, when an agent with adult probation parole received a call from a man who said Little was trying to retrieve property belonging to a woman who is currently incarcerated. The man stated that Little had called and sent messages to him several times, and included a picture of himself in a Washington County deputy uniform, which the man felt was a threat. The agent, who is familiar with Little, I bet he's got stories, knew that he had not been a certified police officer for several years. On January 21, adult probation and parole agents went to Little's residence to question about the texts. The affidavit states that when asked about the pictures and messages, Little admitted that he knew how it would be perceived. Little had previously been arrested in September last year and accused of threatening a school resource officer in St. George. As a result of that arrest, additional information was developed about a gun Little had in his possession, and it was discovered to be stolen. He was convicted of theft by receiving stolen property and being a restricted person in possession of a gun in October, and received a suspended sentence of 15 years in the Utah State Prison. In 2020, he pleaded no contest to a charge of impersonating an officer and received a suspended 6-month jail sentence.
I wonder if he did something and got removed from the police force. That's how he got the felony. And he's just been trying to use that still to kind of bribe people or hammer people. Because once people become police officers like that and they get that range of power that comes over them, sometimes it's hard for them to let go of it.
Clearly he can't. Because it was taken away and he keeps on trying to apply it regardless. I want to speak to his parole officer, because I'm willing to bet this isn't the whole of it. There are stories upon stories here.
Yeah, it sounds like he's done this 2 other times, and who knows what he originally got charged for. Maybe it was the same thing. Maybe it was coercion or something like that of a person. But it sounds like every case has been revolved around some sort of a weapon.
That's just ridiculous. But yeah, Mr. Little. False Officer Little. Daw.
Didn't it say that he was charged by trying to pick up some stuff from a woman that was incarcerated?
That was
on
this
behalf
one.
of-
Oh, that was
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, that was this one. I'm talking because he was already being convicted as a felon. He's done this before as a felon, so he's done this at least 3 different times, from what
Yes.
I can gather.
That said, what he's been busted for are like small bits of bravado. So I'm thinking that he's a bit of a joke. And in trying to
maybe
retrieve
mis-
these property on
Face
behalf
is
of a
a
woman who's already
bit of a
incarcerated,
joke.
I think he was trying to. I think it was a dating move. I think he was.
Or maybe Mr. Little was trying to make up for something that's little.
Dick jokes. The lowest hanging fruit on the internet.
Hey, who said anything about dick jokes? Maybe he just wanted a bigger gun. You're the one who brought it
You-
to dick.
I stand corrected. Maybe he's involved in a cop orgy? No, because apparently the officers involved in the cop orgy, none of them got busted, which is a... They might have gotten reprimanded, but they only fired who... Well... The core of the group. In that case, not so much a cop orgy, it's more of a... Bang bang?
Maybe he was the pivot man.
Well, we'll gloss over this next one, I think. Oh, by the way, greetings, Dragonus19. Glad you could join us. Man arrested accused of pointing laser at Long Beach aircraft. LBPD said the man had been pointing high-powered lasers at aircraft in Long Beach area for almost a year. Which means that they weren't doing a great job of catching him in a timely fashion. And I just look, he apparently never learned to stop. But that does look like a pretty cool laser.
That's probably one of those green lasers if it's high powered.
I bet it is.
Which technically it is illegal if you look at the FAA rules and regulations.
I just don't understand how he could possibly hit anything, or any of the pilots, because the angles are all wrong. But I didn't stop him from trying anyway, the jerk. Over the past several weeks, LBPD said investigation uncovered several instances of a laser being pointed at LBPD's Fox helicopter, commercial airliners, and private planes near Long Beach Airport. What was his plan? Through the investigation, detectives learned that for nearly 1 year, an individual would anticipate the arrival of aircraft and intentionally use a laser to point towards the cockpit of these aircraft. Pilots of the LBPD helicopter narrowed down where the laser could have been coming from through multiple incidents and determined that it was the 15 to 600 block of Silver Street in Long Beach. With the help of the FBI, I'm finding it implausible they got the right guy now already. Officers said they were able to catch the suspect, Mark Allenberger, a 46-year-old resident of Long Beach, point a high-powered laser at an LBPD helicopter multiple times outside of his house. Detectives arrested and booked Berger into Long Beach City Jail on one count of felony discharge of a laser at an occupied aircraft in violation of parole. Oh, so this is some sort of passive-aggressive thing, I'm guessing. Berger is being held up.
Well, if I remember right, pointing a laser at police officers, I mean, they kind of look at it as the same way as, pointing a gun at police.
No, that's a bit far, but it's definitely a form of assault, especially if they're going for the eyes. Quote unquote, as a reminder, pointing lasers at any aircraft is a serious offense and can be subject to state and or federal charges. But in any case, don't try to bring down planes with lasers unless they're enemy planes and your laser can punch through them.
If you want to do it to that Chinese balloon that's floating over the United States right now.
Yes, Well, we that's what we started with, actually. We read the Pigeon article on that. And honestly,
Jim,
where was the hero then? He could have saved the day. They wouldn't have had
Jim,
to blow it out of the sky. They could have just burned a hole in it and...
you know,
that's the way
it's funny.
going.
My co-host Jim Max, he's been on for a long ass freaking time. He's retired now, but he is. When that story first came out, I was like, I bet he fans a Chinese balloon, and lo and behold, he was right.
Yeah, they finally brought it down. It only took them a week. And that still baffles me. Why did they bother blowing it up? It's a balloon. How difficult could it be to capture? And wouldn't that be a useful thing if you're trying to figure out what the hell it was really up to?
I think it's the altitude that was the issue.
Hmm.
What they said was like 50 to 100,000 feet up in the air.
But it's a balloon. You can put a few holes in it, and it should inevitably come down to earth. Oh well. Moving on. Speaking of things not to do with your probation officer, when arrested after having illegal drugs during meeting with probation officer. Wow. This is actually kind of dumb. Is there a twist here from him? I have to say already, this woman does not look like a poster child for good decisions in general.
True.
I mean, dollar sign on the throat. Is that money? What is that saying? Money shot here? New Bern, Craven County, a woman was arrested for having illegal drugs in her possession when she arrived for a meeting with her probation officer. Tabitha Jean Paul, 31, was charged with felony possession with intent to sell and deliver heroin, possession with intent to sell and deliver methamphetamine, felony possession with intent to deliver... Holy shit, how many drugs was she carrying? Felony possession of heroin, felony possession of controlled substance on jail premises, possession of a Schedule 3 controlled substance.
All of them. Just all of them. She even looks like it.
Just walked into the probation officer's office. I suppose he was suspicious because she had to look like a fucking chipmunk.
She probably forgot to wipe her nose off.
Paul was served with probation violation warrants. Paul is jailed in the Craven County Confinement Facility under a $300,000 secured bond. She was on probation for felony trafficking, a Schedule 1 controlled substance, felony possession with intent to sell a Schedule 1 controlled substance, felony possession of a Schedule 1 controlled substance, and apparently they just decided to just go all or nothing. I don't want to advise people on how to break the law, but I think it's fairly common sense and fair to say that if you're going to meet with your probation officer, leave your massive amounts of legal drugs at home.
Now, I got a question. What were the charges again on that?
No, she's on. Well, charges are possession with intent to sell and deliver meth, felony possession with intent to sell and deliver acid, felony possession of heroin. Apparently, she didn't, that was to be kept for herself because they're not suggesting she was selling it. That was her personal stash, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And felony possession of controlled substance on jail premises. So I'm guessing, was she just going to the jail to deal and ran into her probation officer on the way? Is that it?
What I don't get is why did they just, like on that last one, is like possession of Schedule 3 controlled substance. It's like, why did they only name that one off and not like the other ones as Schedule 1 or 2? It doesn't make sense.
I'm guessing maybe that drug was super top secret. It was this next generation drug. They didn't want it leaked. I'm choosing to think it's that. What was it? The movie guy takes this clear pill and gets super smart. Probably that stuff. Moving on. New Jersey woman pushing 30, like the previous one, fakes way into high school for almost a week before officials noticed. Why? A New Jersey woman pushing 30 years old allegedly faked her way into a New Brunswick high school before school officials realized she was years too late for the senior prom. Hyung Shin, 29, is accused of showing a forged birth certificate to school officials to attend classes with teenagers at New Brunswick High School, according to authorities. New Brunswick Superintendent of Schools Aubrey Johnson informed the district's school board at a Tuesday meeting the woman attended classes for 4 days. While she attended some classes, most of her time was spent with guidance counselors trying to get more information on her. Johnson said during the meeting that was posted online by news outlet News of Brunswick Today, authorities were immediately notified and the individual in question has now been arrested for providing false documentation. Johnson said he has urged students not to contact her. This is an unfortunate event, he also said. Communication has been provided to the parents of individuals that the young lady might have come into contact with, and communication was also provided to all school parents today.
I have a quick question. Are people not allowed to attend high school at a higher age in America?
The maximum age you can attend high school is 21.
Yeah,
That's so
I mean,
weird.
after a certain point, you gotta go through a different type of program. There's schools for adults out there to gain high school level education, but you can't go to the regular basis.
Limitless. Thank you,
Romans
Sassy
way.
Gray. That was going to bother me otherwise. I suppose this is just an example of some Asian overachieving. Did she just feel like she had to go back and study the fundamentals again?
And she's
Also, I
29?
She's 31.
31.
Over
Is she
30.
passed
in
off
any
as a? Is she passed off as a high schooler?
Well, the name is a bit of a hint as how they might have pulled that off. Again, the name was, what was it? Hyung
Well, I
Shin.
mean, do we have a picture of this person?
Well, we're going to see if there is one in a moment, but suffice to say, it's not entirely implausible that an Asian woman could perhaps pass themselves off as a bit younger than they are. Up until they hit granny stage, it's kind of hard to tell. Pardon?
The stage where you can see is around age 55.
Shin, who lives in New Brunswick, was charged Tuesday with the count of providing false government document with the intent to verify one's identity or age. Authorities alleged she showed the fake birth certificate with the intent to enroll as a juvenile high school student. Police said New Jersey districts must immediately enroll a student without a guardian and even without all the typical paperwork per state law. That's kind of weird. Hi there, you don't have any parents, but you've got a birth certificate? You're a student now. A group of students reportedly attended the Tuesday board meeting to voice their concerns about the unnerving situation. We feel so unsafe and nobody wants to listen to us. Student Ethan Calderon told New Brunswick Today. Do they not care about us because we're minorities? Okay, I want this one put back in the school just to toughen these guys up.
They need picked on more.
A parent told 12 News Jersey that she was concerned because there's no clear reason why the adult wanted to go back to high school. It happened last week and that's concerning. As parents, we're the last ones to know what's going on and we should be the first ones, Mother Arroyo said, according to the news station. Our children are in school and we send them there hoping and praying they are safe, and they aren't. They might.
It sounds like that.
Pose? It's like she's patient zero in some sort of outbreak.
It sounds like that the school let everyone know as soon as they found out. So, I mean,
they're unbelievably by or
later.
Yeah, this is. They're acting like she had shut up the school or was looting the place. And they're talking about tracing her social circles? There's got to be something more here, or else these people are just utter losers. All the cases. Not just Miss Shin. Oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. 29, not 31, 29. If she just tried 9 years earlier, she would have been fine, apparently.
Well, I mean, it kind of asks me, it kind of makes me wonder, is like, what was the circumstances? Was it, I mean, is she foreign? Is she a U.S. citizen? I mean, yeah, she has a birth certificate, but still.
They say New Jersey woman, presumably she was a legitimate citizen.
Oh.
The reasons for this are baffling. I do wish they'd gone into detail because this raises a lot of questions. What was their goal? Were they really just trying to relive the glory days? Or were they like a mean girl who just couldn't adapt to the modern world?
I mean, in my country, there's an age, there's a limitation on how long ago you attended high school and if you can still attend university. So sometimes you need to retake the entire high school, and then it's just easier to do that rather than take single classes at Adults Without Chances.
She must have loved high school, but that doesn't make sense. I know I can't speak for anyone else here. I hated every last minute of my high school experience. I could not be affordably bribed to go back to the rough geographic location of it.
Yeah, but if you had to do it to be able to attend university, wouldn't you do it?
No.
No.
Well, I went through, and I'm a blue-collar worker, I went through a VOTEC. So as soon as I got done with high school and VOTEC, which was at the same time, I went into the line of work I'm doing right now. And I've been doing that for about 20 years.
I just can't imagine wanting to go back to high school. I don't care how many years
Yeah.
I'm on.
Who'd ever want to be in a high school?
I mean, unless she did it to, man, I don't want to throw allegations out there like that because we don't know. But I mean, bring kids who, I mean, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. But like I said, I don't really want to throw that allegation out there.
Andrew Tate loses latest bid for freedom as new tales emerge about rape claims. Well, that's some good news, but let's keep this lighthearted by moving on to some other criminally idiot. They're so just... Woman pulled from storm drain for the third time in 2 years, Florida police say.
Well, you said it all right there, Florida.
I'm still wondering. Yes, Florida woman, Florida man, but I don't believe Florida is special on this point. I think there's something weird about how Florida gets the rep, how the absolute dumbest people in Florida always make the news, whereas it somehow doesn't happen in most other states.
It's literally between their law and with media, because basically the media is a lot freer in Florida that allows it to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you ever watched Judge Grady, anytime there's any kind of criminal disturbance or anything like that, he's always on camera like 6 hours right after doing some sort of a press conference.
Lindsay Jane Kennedy was removed from the drain shortly before noon EST, the Delray Beach Police Department wrote in a Facebook post. Police responded to a canal near Lindell Boulevard in Delray Beach after witnesses called authorities to report a woman who appeared to be in distress. Officers arriving at the scene located Kennedy and asked if she needed assistance. Police wrote on Facebook, according to police, Kennedy ignored authorities and climbed into a storm drain pipe, crawling further into the opening when police asked her to come out. Have a video, it would seem. Terrible audio, though.
Oh,
And that's
can't
apparently
hear
where
the
she was
audio
hiding.
here.
Well, I've muted it. It's no one's hearing the audio.
Oh.
So that's where they got themselves stuck.
How in the hell? How big is this woman?
We're going to find out in just a moment. Firefighters were able to contain Kennedy between the two sections of pipe. Police said members of the Delray Beach Fire Rescue Special Operation Team used a ladder and rescue harness to retrieve Kennedy. She appeared to be suffering from minor injuries and was taken to an area hospital for their evaluation. Hold on. Isn't this kind of a violation of her civil liberties? Clearly, she didn't want to be rescued. She was trying to hide from the police, and you don't really blame them for that.
Maybe she was just playing extreme hide and seek and the authorities were trying to mess it up for her.
Maybe she shares a name with a crime lord and doesn't want to be arrested on false pretenses again. Well, she doesn't look like she got stuck in there for her size.
Maybe it's just because she got in there and just couldn't get out.
Fire rescue crews were called on March 23rd, 2021 to a different location, Delray Beach, where they found Kennedy naked and stuck in a drain.
Oh, wow.
Kennedy reportedly told police that she entered the drain system after swimming in the canal but got lost and wandered through the tunnels for weeks, according to the television station. 2 months later, Kennedy was pulled from a storm drain by Texas police in Grand Prairie. So apparently this is just her hobby, getting stuck in storm drains. And boy, they traveled. Okay, at this point, I think this is a fetish thing.
It's either a fetish thing or, I mean, she was skinny dipping from what it sounds like.
And
But how in the
probably
fuck
some
do you get
builds. I'm
stuck
not
for-
ruling out meth either. I think they would have mentioned
Yeah,
that.
she is.
But she was stuck for a week. She got lost.
Lost in a storm drain for a week, we are to believe. And, of course, after her experience being lost in a storm drain for a week, she, of course, really just had to get back to the next storm drain she could find. That doesn't mesh. We are over 13 likes, which means this was a successful stream. Thank you.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, wait.
We are in the final 2 minutes. I would like to thank Roman for curating the articles and, of course, setting up the call. Thank you all for watching, and now's the time for promotional efforts. Absolutely nothing is happening tomorrow, and I'm not going to change that. But my schedule next week should hold to the expected routine. If you have a link to your own creations, your own channels, your own impending videos, and so on, please feel free to share that in the chat now.
We're just done.
Cool. They're kind of running dry on conversation things.
Remember to have fun, and fun will have you.
And
And yes,
don't
yes.
out of storm drains, don't point lasers at aircraft. And drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Ba 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 ba.
I'm not making it an ISO. It wouldn't be an ISO cube, would it? If I was going to be combined in something, I'd insist at least on a holodeck. Don't exist. Yet. But we're probably getting close. And it would be one of the better sci-fi things to, be realized rather than, I don't know, genetically engineered viruses. Lots of interesting things happening. We're living in very interesting times, and they keep getting more and more interesting, and I really wish they would stop. So long as progress continues, success is inevitable. Ostensibly. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.